Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I have Charismatic Performance, Wanderer's Luck. I have the one that makes you move faster, and Storyteller, which gives you +3 knowledge. And here are my songs. You can see me reorganizing them here. And also in the clip there, you might have seen I had a crossbow on my back. That's because I'm taking this from the middle of this recording session because I forgot to at the beginning. I don't have any gear on in this or anything, and I've actually sold my loot before the game started because I'm just not going to get enough spell capacity to be using any loot spells here. And so I would much rather have the extra pocket space, and I do end up using the pocket space quite frequently throughout this. So the goal of today's video is I am going to go from absolutely zero gear to running solo high roller as a rat. And BARD is really good for this because BARD increases the chances that you get higher tier items. And that's because of that Wanderer's Luck perk. That Wanderer's Luck perk is incredibly good, and then also you have this spell called Unchained Harmony, which allows you to loot locked chests. And everyone thinks, oh, why don't I just go with Rogue for that? He can loot locked chests, and he's really fast. Well, BARD is really fast too, and he's really strong, and he can loot locked chests, and his loot is better, and he can go invis for longer than Rogue can, other than a Rogue with the extra hide perk on that makes it last 40 seconds. For a starter base kit Rogue, your invis actually only lasts, if I remember correctly, 14 seconds because your will is so low that it makes your buff duration time lower than what it states. And so that's why I don't really like Rogue particularly for earning money. BARD is a lot better choice to go with as far as I can tell. Now, Rogue is faster than BARD is though, but not by much. Especially after they nerfed double jump and you can't get over as much stuff as quickly anymore. It just really doesn't make that much of a difference. And by the way, this is a BARD that is over level 15, so I can use trade, and I will be using trade. And also, I saw you guys had some comments for me on previous ones where I did ones like this, where you're like, hey, show it when you sell stuff. So this time I recorded it when I sold this stuff, and it will be in the video here so you guys can see when I sell stuff and how much it goes for, and you can get the exact amounts. And right here, I'm basically just trying to fill my coffers so I have enough money to run a high roller and buy a crossbow. I don't want to particularly fight with this guy because even if I did win there, it just wouldn't be very good for me. I'd come out with very low health. BARD is able to get his health back really quickly with Tranquility, but we're not going to worry about that today. I hear another person above me. And one of you guys in the comments told me this trick that Rousing Rhythms gives you +3 all. So you can use Rousing Rhythms. That way you can use the other songs in your Rolodex. And you can still run double songs and at least have 2 more songs then. And +3 all is pretty good for everything else too. You're going to open things faster. You're going to do more damage. +3 all is really good. And right here we have the centipede. I am going to kill the centipede. I want to get full buffed up first. Going to do courage on myself. That gives me some extra strength. And I misplayed there. That's why the song didn't finish. You got to hit it on the golden spots for it to work with Shriek of Weakness. Every time you hit 2 golden song notes, you can skip another one with Charismatic Performance. And I'm just going to hit this one in the bum, and when it spits at you like that, you want to crouch and look down, and that is how you perfect dodge it. Same thing for Ghost King with his like magic missile bullets, by the way. It's the same attack as far as I can tell. Like, it looks exactly the same to me. This one has a couple more bullets. And I misplay again there. I am not the best BARD player ever. I do get very warmed up to it as I go throughout this video. But that's why it's really good to start with a Goblin Caves session. Goblin Caves is quite easy compared to doing stuff like ratting Crypts Solo. And also, it's just really easy to make your first money with. And I get actually a fairly good pendant there. It's got some physical damage reduction and strength 1 from what it looked like. And also, you guys told me that there can be amulets and stuff that spawn there. Those 2 spawn points there, from what I understand, are completely random, just like the centipede drop table in the first place. So, a really good area to go after. And right here, I should be buffing up with my drum. Okay, and I do so. I should have done that before I went after the goblin. And I should also strengthen myself up because there's a lot of stuff to kill here. And I'm breaking these pots. It's much more worthwhile now to loot chests, although they will be nerfing it back, it sounds like, on this Friday. I don't think they're going to be nerfing it back entirely, and I sure hope they keep the changes for High Roller, because the High Roller changes feel so nice. High Roller is so worthwhile to run now. And right there, this section of the wall, for whatever reason, they usually texture things with their hitboxes really close to how it actually looks in the game, but right there they decided that they just wanted to make it not like that. And right here, because I'm deciding that magic, if that hit me, would mess me up really bad, I'm just going to piercing shrill it through the wall. And when you hear it doing that, where it's like a chanting, that is buffing up the goblins around it, and that's usually a really easy time to go in for melee attacks. But I'm just killing it here with piercing shrill. One more for the road, just to make certain. Piercing shrill is really good to cheese Inferno with, by the way, guys. Just absolutely fantastic, because things can't get to you and you can kill them. It's similarly as good as like Hellfire is, except it doesn't do as much damage. So it's a really good song to have on if you are going for Inferno. Would highly recommend. We get a flat chest here. What are we gonna get? Okay, a short sword. That's kind of nice. 2 knowledge round shield. Maybe a cleric would like that. And I'm deciding, don't really like the short sword. I much prefer the rapier's attack pattern. The short sword does not have much range on it, so I don't like it. And just breaking all the pots here. I'm just trying to collect some money here, so if I can get some sellables, that would be really good. And just walking past. Small chest. Crystal ball with +2 additional physical damage. If ignite builds were still a thing, that would go for a lot of money. A lot of warlocks still like to use the crystal ball and falchion setup too. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, those setups are really trash. And I do crouches right there. And the reason why that's really trash is because you get the movement speed debuff from 2 different weapons. It's much better to go falchion and then spellbook in a different hand. I know that means you can't cast spells at the same time as you're attacking with your melee, but it is much more worthwhile to go with the item swap. And this guy here gets on mic, and he offers me a cape of all things. And I pick up this cape. I'm going to accept a cape. And I go ahead and I decide, hey, let's drop him some things too. Have a surgery kit, have some candy corn, and I give those to him. We do a little trade. He definitely gave me something here that was worth more, but he already had a cape on, and this is just how the Goblin Caves is, especially if you're playing Bard or Fighter or Cleric. People are very friendly to you. And he's talking to me here and going like, where are the portals? Things like that. He's basically just trying to find a portal, try and extract. I'm just kind of waiting for the physical extract because we're right next to it over here.
Two more spawn in.
And he's telling me here 2 more portals spawn in, so we're all good.
Also the gate.
And I'm just trying to scoop some more loot real quick, picking back up those items I dropped to put the cape on. People pull capes out of Goblin Caves now. It happens now. And I really like the loot changes they've made. After 3 minutes, I believe it is, this gate can open, and it can open from 3 minutes to anywhere to 30 seconds. I was just going to go over here and check it. It was open. I went ahead and extracted. And this guy's pretty kitted. And he got out too, don't worry. And here's the stuff I had to sell. I have another bangle in my inventory I need to sell there too that I wasn't seeing. Selling a lantern, an oil lantern, and a couple other things. Here are the short sword. It's not going to sell for anything. We sell that bangle, and we have a good 60 gold. I sell the shield here for 50 gold as well, so I get 35 gold off of that, and I sell the dagger because it wasn't selling. Those boots with +1 all attributes also weren't selling, and I turned the silver into gold, This ends me up with, I want to say it was something like 119 gold here, which is basically just what I need. I buy a crossbow for, I think it was 14 gold, put that on, and then I take off my more expensive items. You do not want your more expensive items on for this, just throwaway items. So if you find anything good in High Roller, you can just go ahead and put it on. And by the way, this is a full lobby. High Roller games are practically always full now, although they do take a while to fill up. And I actually find it easier to rat in High Roller lobbies when they're full because teams will fight each other and you can kind of just sit in the corner while they fight each other. And before it was happening was you'd get games with like 6 people in the lobby and then they would just have you to chase, and so they would hunt you down really hard. And I hated that. That was really, really boring. It was very difficult to rat in, and it's literally easier to rat in lobbies that are entirely full. Now, the problem that comes with this is that you will also get people down in Inferno every time, which was not happening before. So you also have to rat in Inferno. But honestly, I haven't found that people are all too aggressive in Inferno. And by the way, I majorly messed it up there. You can avoid these by either circling around them to the left or to the right and ducking and crouching at the same time, and that will avoid them either on the left or right side. I should have gone to the left there. I only knew at the time that it worked to the right. I thought it didn't work to the left, and I'm very wrong about that. Luckily, I spawned right next to a health shrine here, so we're just going to go over there and get that real quick before I get one-tapped by someone's bow from across the map. And in High Roller now, I find it incredibly not worthwhile to loot bodies or anything like that. Of course, player bodies are worth looting, but enemy bodies aren't really worth looting or anything like that. It's really just worthwhile to loot the chests because the chests loot are so buffed up right now. And they're gonna change that a little bit on Friday, so we'll see what happens. We get some candy corn, some plate boots there. We're not gonna grab them. They're just green ones. I come out of this with a full inventory of purples oftentimes if I go down to Inferno. And you can see there, I'm already getting a couple blues just out of a regular chest. These chests right here, the ornate ones, are really good, guys. These guys are mini lion's head chests. They spawn lion's head items. Those are purple boots there. Those are really good. And I spawned next to this room that has a bunch of chests in it. Even just the small chests are really good at this point. I don't want that hand crossbow in my side slot. It slows me down a lot, and I just can't have that right now. I need to be fast. And we get a purple heater shield. Its rolls are pretty crappy, if I remember correctly. And a purple rapier, which is great. That's a big damage boost for me. A couple more damage. That makes a big difference. Really, if you guys have some extra money, I would recommend you buy a falchion. Falchion is so much better than a rapier. Even a white falchion is better than a purple rapier. Even a gray falchion is better than a purple rapier. Falchions are just so good, and really, I don't think they should be on BARD in the first place. They make BARD's damage per second absurd with all these songs he has to buff himself up. And also, I think falchions should probably be nerfed a little bit. They're a little bit too good, even compared to something like arming swords. You don't ever see fighters using arming swords because the falchion is just too good, even after it's nerfed. Okay, and just 2 headshots there with my little gray crossbow works fine to kill this. And the reason why I'm trying to clear out this room is there is a lion's head chest there. Lion's head chests will get you a good, I'd say 400 gold on average if you loot them now. With Wanderer's Luck, it is kind of absurd just how much money you will get out of them in High Roller. And the ones in Inferno are better, by the way. That is a different drop table. If you can actually go and loot Lion's Head chests in Inferno, if you get that room with the centaur in it, the 2 demon dogs, and you actually get the circle on you, and it also has a demon berserker, if you get the circle on you in that room, the one that has the 3 Lion's Head / gold chests in it, if you get that one, you will come out of it generally, from what I understand, with like 4,000 gold from one run. You will come out of it with an inventory full of God Rolls purples, and also probably a legendary item or 2, with how much luck you get from Wanderer's Luck. And I hear people there, so I am running away. Rather than sitting here and getting greedy and going after the lion's head chest, let's just run away and get away from here so they can't hear me anymore. They might not have heard me. They were walking around with plate boots on, which seemed to me like they have a bit further hearing range, or maybe they just didn't hear me because their teammates are next to them and they didn't know I was there. I'm trying to find a better way to go through here, and there really isn't a better one. That direction I was going already was pretty good. I'm going to put these heavy boots on here. That's not because those are good for me. Extra magical damage I don't think actually does anything for me because I don't have the drum damaging song on. I think the flute one is physical damage, if I remember correctly. And so magic damage doesn't do anything for me here, but those boots have some value to them, so that's why I'm taking them. And that's why I recommend you do this with 0 gear. Not exactly 0 gear, like maybe you want a falchion, maybe you want a crossbow, maybe you want some padded leggings and some rawhide gloves for an extra song or two. But you want items that you can drop at a moment's notice and you won't be sad about. You want throwaway items. I'm trying to go up the ladder here. This ladder can be a nightmare to get up, and I'm just going to go ahead and play Song of Shadows. So if someone comes past, I'll be all good. I'm not within the circle, otherwise I would have just camped here the whole game. This is a pretty good spot to camp. People do check here, though. In High Roller, they will always check here. You are not getting away with this, but it's a really easy spot for me to run away from someone on. I could run through the axes below me, or I could run off to the left and close the door on them, that little gate on them, and run away. So it's a pretty good spot to hide in. And also, oftentimes when I hide up here, they're already fighting another team. And yeah, I just clipped through that board right there. I don't know what is happening there. And right here, I go back into that room I was in before, hoping that they moved away. And teams will fight each other very quickly here. Teams of 3 will encounter each other very quickly, which makes it much easier for you to rat. And I do hear them over there, which makes me wary, but now I'm getting some greed in my bones. Mostly because it seems like they're not interested in coming after me super hard. They don't seem like they're lobby clearers. So I am going to run over here. And you can jump on this part right here. It's actually open, so I'm just going to open it. Or you could play Unchained Harmony and open it that way. Those pants are really good. That arming sword is also really good. I don't know if it was worth it over the pot there. The crown is definitely worth it over that shield because the shield did not have good rolls. And we're taking the hood over the hand crossbow. Hand crossbows basically never sell. It would have to have god rolls to even sell for 100 gold on a purple one. They're just not very good. Rogues still like them sometimes if they're doing like that little repose strat where they swap their hand crossbow like 10 times in their inventory. But that strategy is not good. That strategy only worked for him because he is a good player. I would just recommend you don't pick up the hand crossbows. And way more strategies work in this game if you have really, really good aim and all sorts of stuff. People seem to think this is a low skill game, which I don't know where they're getting that from. This game has an incredibly high skill ceiling, especially with ranged weapons. And the melee fighting has quite a bit of skill to it as well. It's not anything like Mordhau or anything like that where there's super high skill cap, but this game already has a pretty high skill cap. Okay, right here what I'm doing is I have memorized the Inferno portal spawn, so I am going to the position that is most likely to spawn the Inferno portals within the zone that will not have players. And as I'm running towards it, I am encountering, okay, I'm hearing player footsteps in such and such direction. Which spot can I go to where an Inferno portal could spawn where there wouldn't be players? And that's generally what you need to do as a rat. If you memorize the portal spawns, your success rate will go up 10 times. And that takes a while. You got to play a lot of games to do that. And I hear a portal spawn there. I am certain that that is not an Inferno portal because we are not to the Inferno portal time yet. I believe Inferno portals spawn at 2:40 now. And they do keep changing this. It seems like with every major patch, they kind of swap the timer around a bit. So that'll likely be out of date at some point. Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they re-added the timer to High Roller. That just used to not be there. I don't know why they did that or if that's just a bug. And I'm just going into Song of Shadow here just ahead of time in case players come past me. It's quite likely that most of the players in the lobby at this point are dead. There is likely a lobby clearer in the lobby who has already killed many of the other players. And they are feeling perfectly happy with their loot. And right here, I get an escape portal. And I'm just thinking, my inventory's already pretty good. How about if I just head out, because I'm not seeing an Inferno portal down there next to me. There might have been one down there, by the way. There is one portal spawn down there, and then there's one a little bit further on. Okay, and I'm selling all the treasures here. And I don't really want to sell grave essence or anything like that anymore. That is not worth picking up for me anymore, but I just pick it up out of habit because it's green in a one slotter for some reason. I sell the plate boots here and the arming sword for 200 gold. The plate boots were not very good rolls. The hoods, I just sell to the store because they were not selling for 50 gold. I take off the rapier. And the leather leggings, I'm also taking off. Those are really good leather leggings, by the way. 3 magical damage, and then I have 3 will on the white line. Gonna buy myself some new legs, some padded leggings. And by the way, on BARD, I would recommend, if you can, buy backups of gray Lightfoot boots, gray padded leggings, gray rawhide gloves, gray crossbows, and gray falchions. I sell the rapier here for 100 gold. People are incessantly trading me for it afterwards still. I should have posted that one for more, but I sold it for 100 gold. And we run it back, this time with a greater luck potion. Now, right here, this run gets really sad really quickly, and you guys are going to see why in just a moment. And I get a really good spawn here. Spawning within the maze is perfect for rats. Teams do not want to enter the maze, and it is an incredibly good central spot in the map to hide. Right in this room right here, I grab my torch, and what happens? I get bugged into the wall. I have never had this happen before. I have done this dozens of times, and it would just push me into the room or outside of the room. But I am stuck in the wall here, and I'm trying to think of how I can unstuck myself. Okay, maybe, whacking. Maybe that would change my hitbox, and that would remove me from here. Oh, I could throw my torch on the lever. No, it won't let me. Your shot is blocked by an obstacle. There is no way I could throw my torch on that over there. So, what do I need to end up doing here? I need to exit to lobby. I am dead here. There's nothing I can do. I have died to a bug. You might wonder why I decided to take the torch off instead of just closing it with the lever inside the room. That would be very indicative that the room has a person in it if I didn't take the torch. That's why I did that. I was going to hide in there after taking the 2 big chests and just wait for Inferno portals. I still have some money left over, though, so I go ahead, I re-gear. I just put on a crossbow, a falchion, a greater luck potion, and I run it back. I'm not too worried about it because these runs earn a lot of money, and we're just going to run it back. It was a bugged run. It happens. I've had other runs ruined by bugs before, but that was more so like can't interact with anything. That was a bug I had never encountered before there where I got stuck in the ground. Okay, and we're going to kill this guy right here. And you always want to Shriek of Weakness them. That is because they have implemented this thing where enemies will take way more damage if they have below 0 armor rating. And this does, in fact, work on skeletons, but Weak Point does not actually make you do any more damage to skeletons. That is because Weak Point is percent-based. Shriek of Weakness is armor rating-based. And because they made the curve so steep on the lower end to make it so players will not take off their gear so they can move faster, their starter gear, then that makes it really good against skeletons and also just base gear players. Also there, you may have seen there was a 1 magic healing wizard hat on that skeleton back there. I should have picked that up. That is 50 gold. That is actually fairly worth the slots. So I should have picked that up. That would definitely sell for 50 gold to the warlocks, maybe even 100 gold because there aren't many items that go in the head slot for them. And I'm fairly certain they can wear the wizard hat. Yeah, if they can wear the wizard hat, I definitely should have picked that up. It would have been worth some money, like 50 or 100 gold. And I'm going right through here, and I'm not actually recognizing the map because they've added more map variations, it seems. And I was thinking this was the one where it would have a long Great Hall ahead of me, and there would be a skeleton champion in there and a whole bunch of chests. And I wanted to go loot all of that. But that is not what's ahead of me. What's ahead of me is the shrine room, which I should stay far away from because any players who are actually good in this lobby are going to camp that room until they hear someone. They're going to pop the shrines, and then they're going to obliterate that person. This is another thing, too, though. Every time you'd get in a high roller game before, every single player in that lobby would be incredibly good. That is not the case anymore. Because high roller is more popular now, there's also way more lower skilled players. And there's the magical healing hat. That might have been the one I was talking about or remembering right there. Or maybe I saw two of them. We get another Shadow Hood. This one has plus 10 armor rating, plus 4 max health. Those are really good rolls. But Warlocks don't seem to want anything other than magical healing. They pretty much just sit in the chat waiting for magical healing. And that is because Warlock players are poor. You might go, oh, that's offensive. Warlock players are poor. No, it's just a fact. Warlock players are poor. They spend their money on magical healing items so they can go off and keep trying to cheese bosses or something with really low tier kits. It seems to me like a lot of people end up spending their time cheesing the troll now because the troll pelt, while being a 2% drop rate, is worth like 10,000 gold or something absurd. So that is worthwhile for a lot of people just to farm that and the other items in high roller. And Warlocks kill it really quickly. You can also still just kill the Lich solo, though. You can do that in high roller. I have encountered players that will farm high roller, Lich, solo. That will make you so much money. The problem with that is how do you avoid the PvP and how do you figure out the Inferno doesn't have players in it? That takes a huge amount of skill where you basically rat till the last 1 minute of the map and you see how many Inferno portals are left. It is possible to do just skill-wise. It is possible. I am not at that level of skill, so I haven't even gotten a high roller Lich kill solo yet. I have been trying, but it is a method that can be done to farm. You might see videos pop up in your YouTube recommendeds too, where someone gets like named weapons from farming the Lich solo. I saw one the other day, and man, great on that dude. Like, he got a Kuma's Claw, really good stuff, and really, the only thing that would turn me off from doing that method is the luck on Warlock is lower. You would definitely want to bring a greater luck potion every single time. It's definitely worthwhile. The mummy down. And those named weapons go for like 30 keys, which at this point, 30 keys would be worth 240,000 gold because keys are worth 8,000 gold right now. You're not going to get that much gold within a wipe in any other method. The only way you're going to do that is by getting a named weapon. And that is a purple lantern there with half-decent rolls, and it's a purple lantern, which sells for quite a bit just per slot. I don't want that one in my hotbar there, even though it has half-decent stats on it, because that would give my position away in the dark and allow rangers to hit me more easily. I do not like lanterns. I am a rat. I like to hide in the darkness the way I should. And right there, these spiders actually forced me off the pot. The hitboxes on spiders work really oddly, and I hate it. Honestly, I wish they would just make the spiders hitboxless, so you can, like, run through them and they'd nibble at your toes. Because their hitboxes are super wonky and do not work properly, and they're not fun to go into. And right here, a little tip for you guys. If you hit the shield on the shield skeletons, they will immediately attack you back. And that is what actually got me hit there. I would have been far enough away if I hadn't slammed him on his shield. And that's what got me hit. Also, I'd recommend if you guys have more money, go ahead and bring some health pots in on these runs. The little 8 gold health pots are going to change the game for you. Also, coffins are incredibly good right now, so I'm going to loot the coffins over here. I think they just count as, like, normal chests, but the normal chests in this are incredibly good. And I'm kind of just sitting in the zone here because I wasn't prepped to be finding a purple dagger there. And that's a bunch of memory capacity adds, so I want to put that on right there. And I'll take the short sword as well. I don't know why I particularly wanted the short sword. That won't sell for anything, but I did. And then I'm dropping some treasures here for this Viking helm. I should not have done that. That Viking helm is worth nothing. The rolls on it are all bad. And right over here, there is a health pot in this little shrine here, and I forgot to grab it earlier, which is very nice because I need it really badly right now. Go ahead, drop those Molotovs on the ground. Also, if you are ratting and you want to live consistently in High Roller, buy Molotovs from the trade chat. Molotovs will increase your success rate hugely if you actually know how to use them. And yeah, you definitely want Molotovs. Those are huge for you. And I just cut ahead here, guys. I do hear players from just a split second there while I'm resting off far to the north. And I'm kind of just dropping my stuff here while I'm waiting and resting, getting my health back to full. And we're going to go to the north here, following these guys' direction. Hopefully, they've already cleared it out a bit for me, is what I was hoping here. They haven't. They didn't come down this far, which is fine. I don't particularly want to be next to players. That's how I die. And holding out the short sword should give me the extra physical power, so I'm wondering if that was what I was thinking here, because the short sword has the physical power roll in it. Maybe that's why I wanted to pick it up. Maybe I thought I needed more DPS for some reason. I really don't, though. It's not worth the move speed. And there's a chest over here. Horseman's axe with +1 all attributes. Horseman axes do get used now, although from what I understand, Viking swords are actually meta, which I did not think I'd ever say those words, because Viking swords used to be the trashiest trash item ever. If you find purple ones of those, the barbarians will buy them, and they will buy them for quite a bit of gold. They use them with their kit. They'll have that, and then they'll also have a war maul set up. And I get whacked there because it's an axe one. I didn't know it was an axe one, and they have insane range. I need to get out of here before I die. And I kind of stuttered backwards there. That is no good. We're going to do Tranquility and then sit down and heal in between. Now, High Roller Inferno is actually really easy to get through if you are set up properly on a Bard. And I'm just throwing the items out here that I think aren't like super good rolls, because I could get some very good items out of this and I don't really need to worry about it. And right here, I spawn in the gargoyle room, which is actually a really good spawn, by the way. But the circle is about as far from me as it could be, and that is really bad. What I would really like is if the circle was centered on the room to my east here. That room has a bunch of lion heads chests. That's the one I was talking about where you'd earn 4 or 5k gold in just one run right now. I do not have a run of footage where I am doing that room. I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet. It's quite unlikely that you spawn there and that you get it uncontested and that you also have the circle on it. It would take an incredibly long time to clear out that room, and you would need at least until the second circle to be able to clear it. And right here, there is a gargoyle above me, a demon bat above me. I am just piercing, shrilling it because that is the safest here. I could also go into Tranquility and heal myself up the extra red health. When you go into Inferno, it resets your red health and gives you some more. And let me know in the comments if you guys know if going into this with all attributes and courage on in the room before, if in the lobby before, gives you extra red health on this. Because I've been wondering about that, because those give you strength, right? And that increases your HP. And it seems like I've got a lot of HP right here that is red. By the way, nightmare zombies are not something to mess with. They are a lot harder than other nightmare enemies. And their poison clouds will kill you incredibly quickly. They spawn a couple at a time, and they will spam them. Do not mess with nightmare zombies. Looting this chest here because the chests have good loot. There's also a lion's head chest in the middle of the room, but I don't want to deal with getting out of there again, so I'm not going for that. You can see already I get 2 purples out of the first basic chest. That is how good a High Roller Inferno is right now. And I'm trying to hit this dragonfly here, but I keep missing it. There we go. We got it there. The dragonflies will also do like a quarter of your health just from one poison splat. Not a fun time, and they can hit you with multiple poison splats at once. Zombie coming for me that I want to get rid of. And you can repath them by breaking just this pot right here and running past. They think they can't walk past that, so they'll go back the other way to try and get you. And the other way is so far that he's never going to get to me. And if he does ever get that far, just walk ahead of it again and wait until he comes back and then run for it. I want to loot this chest right here, but this demon bat is coming for me and the zone's coming for me. Don't get greedy here, guys. There will be plenty of loot. Just keep running if you need to. And I got unlucky with the circle spawn, so this is just how it is. Reloading my crossbow. I shot him there with the crossbow, which I believe slows him down. I was hoping to kill him, but I'm just thinking now, okay, I'll run through this lever door here and close it on him. You don't need to kill the enemies in the Inferno anymore. Their loot is just not very good compared to everything else. And I realized this like a second in. I'm like, what am I doing? These small chests have multiple purples in them, and that demon bat is going to have like a blue for me. Why would I do that? I Shriek of Weakness this guy, and I want to kill these so I can actually clear out this room. And I wanted to clear out the whole thing, but once the circle goes in, I believe it changes locations again to a bad part of the room. This room has like 12 small chests in it, I want to say, but it would take me a while to clear. If I cleared out this room, I would have an inventory full of god purples again. I don't clear out this room. I just kill a couple enemies in here, and I have to keep moving. Don't get greedy to the point where it kills you. That's not helpful, and it is pretty difficult to make it through High Roller Inferno if you start getting greedy. You need to play well for it to be easy. And the reason why I'm clearing out these archers up here is so I can clear off the bridge. I can go ahead and aggro the melee ones over there. And honestly, I shouldn't even be looting these guys here, but I think I want my bolts back. And so I go ahead and I grab my bolts back. And then what I do is I drag him off the bridge, and then this spot up here where the archers are is a safe spot from that. So you can go up here after you've cleared it out, and you can drag whatever you want up here. I will let you know, though, if it's an axe guy, he will keep trying to attack you, so you might have to jump every time he attacks to avoid him. But it's still a cheese spot. It works pretty well. And if you're thinking about doing High Roller Inferno runs solo, you're probably already a pretty good player and pretty experienced at this game. Also, I would not recommend you try these runs unless you're already pretty successful at doing it in the regular lobby. The players in High Roller Inferno are insane, and they will chase you down to the ends of the earth. And if you don't have ways to get them off of you, you will not avoid them. And right here, I'm just shooting this guy. And honestly, I don't need to clear out the second one from here. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't really need to do that. And I just keep shooting him. He's dead now, though. I'm going to go back and get my bolts there, I think, too. And, whoa, those plate boots. Okay, the only roll you need on plate boots for them to be very good boots is armor rating if they are purple, and so those end up selling for quite a bit. If I also had weapon damage or something else, if I had weapon damage and then something else good on the third roll, it could sell for a key even. Plate boots that are purple with armor roll ratings, very good. Find Cuirass with armor rating roll, very good. This is just something that you definitely want to find that is worth a lot of money. Heavy leather leggings are actually the thing that go for the most, though, with armor rating rolls. Because barbarians want them, and barbarians are much more meta than fighter is right now, so your super high tier players will use them. Okay, leather bonnet that's purple, and I can just take that for free because I can wear it, and it gives me extra resourcefulness, so that's nice. And I kind of want to break this spider pot here in case this room ends up spawning the portals. It does not, if I remember correctly. And I need to kill this dragonfly, too, otherwise it'd cause a problem. I barely kill it there. That is a Picklock Lion's Head chest. I don't know if the Wanderer's Luck thing is true or not, that it doesn't work if you open the chest with Unchained Harmony, but I always just open them regularly if I can. And I get a bunch of purples out of here. Like, every single item in there is a purple. And I definitely want that purple scroll. That's like 125 gold. That is so much gold right there. We should drop that. That stiletto dagger should go too. And I'm not even really looking at the rolls there, but I'm just trying to loot as quickly as possible. That ranger hood is not very good as well. I did want more bolts, though. That's always nice. I would like to loot the rest of the chests in this room, but I don't want to deal with nightmare spiders. Shriek of Weakness them as I'm running, and I'm just going to Piercing Shrill them because there's so many enemies that I can hit at once with it that I see it as worthwhile here. I'm not certain if it's actually faster, but it seemed like it would be faster to me at the time. And you can skip 2 notes on this if you are a really good bard, by the way. If you hit the gold notes every time, then you can skip 2 notes. And right there, I skipped 2 notes, but I had missed one on the gold and just hit it on, like, the more white area. So, and I'm going to need to run through here. The circle is closing incredibly quickly, and I need to find a portal. I have not heard one next to me, which is really unlucky, actually. And I did hear players walk through here earlier, so I kind of tried to stay away from them. They were super far on my hearing range, though. And generally, the players that do the bosses don't actually want to deal with the rats afterwards. A rat can easily kill a whole team in Inferno if they're suicidal about it, which oftentimes they will be. But oftentimes, they just won't want to fight you, and good on them. They want to live, they want to get out with their boss loot, and I can get out with my regular enemy loot. I'm just going to kill this guy here because there is a portal spawn up here. But we are down to the last circle, the tiniest of circles, and I hear it spawning below. And that is because the circle's not on me. There is a nightmare skeleton body down there. I did not know this at the time, but the other players had already killed it. So I am testing it with a crossbow bolt. What I had intended to do was put it off on the side on the right if it was alive and just get it to attack and go over there. I don't think I had enough time to actually do that. So if someone else hadn't killed those already, then I would have been screwed. But also, if there had been more portals, I would have been fine anyways. They had just taken most of the portals already. And that is a lot of just straight gold. And now, we saw the wizard hat for 100 gold. I should have put this for like 250. I got a good 30 trades after this trying to buy the wizard hat. I sell the arming sword for 100 gold, which is great. I sell the plate boots for 200 gold and 10 candy, which is basically worth 300 gold at this point. I sell the shield and the Barbuda helm because they're just not worth my time to sell. I also picked up these items along the way that I am taking off right now. This is why you should go in with no gear, because you can hold more items. I sell the old shoes for 50 gold. I sell the leggings for 200 gold, which is great. I sell this stiletto dagger for 100 gold that have decent rolls, but it was a low roll on damage, sadly. 50 gold for the rondel. I buy myself some new leggings here. I'm buying myself some adventurer boots because I don't have extra gray ones in my stash. And I am wealthy at this point. Buy myself another greater luck potion. And I'm going to swap out my perks here because Dancing Feet actually isn't all that good. I'm going to put on Lore Mastery here, which is way better. This would make me survive way more runs. And also, this is the portion I was showing you earlier where I'm reordering my spells. Aria of Alacrity I had put on in the wrong order, so even with the extra knowledge, it was not popping up for me to be able to use that one. Now I will have access to that one, which will give me more move speed, which is way better. Okay, I spawned right in the champion room with the 2 champions. This is a super good room if you're with a team. I am not with a team. I do not want to be in this room. I am going to get jumped by a team. That room, you can come out with a couple thousand gold just by looting that. And I get shot in the head. And I don't have my crossbow reloaded, and I am just cowering here in the corner from this skeleton immediately. So, off to a bad start, but we do actually end up doing okay on this run. But yeah, that was a major mess up that I got hit in the head there with that. And I'm just going to keep peeking him and shooting him just like this. And I'm going to be just fine. I can heal up all this red health I have. And I did buy myself 3 of the lesser healing potions here. The weak healing potions. And it's a good thing I did that because I'm going to need them. Pull my bolt out of the wall there that I'd missed. Also, you can Tranquility your teammates and Song of Shadow them afterwards while they are sitting. You can do that in the middle of fights and people will just walk past them as they are getting their full health back. I don't think people use Song of Shadow nearly enough in team fights. Song of Shadow is busted OP. You can have a fireball ready, a chain lightning ready, and be in invis and immediately cast it off. Song of Shadow is incredibly OP, and I don't see people using it enough. It's not just good for solos. It isn't like an invis pot. It is broken OP. And I'm just healing up here, almost to full health. We get up. And now I'm just trying to put some money in. Honestly, I shouldn't even be picking that stuff up. I'm trying to find chests here, and there's flat chests and stuff in the middle, which are great. I should buff myself up. That is something I should have done earlier before I left the center room. And the skeleton's gonna spawn. Luckily, not too difficult. And honestly, I am loving BARD. I know I made that video about, oh, BARD is super bad now. I was just bad at playing him. I didn't know that you need the knowledge perk on that gives you an extra song slot. I didn't know that you need to have that +3 all one on. And if you are a kitted BARD now, your buffs can last so long with how they changed BARD that he's way stronger than he was before if you're kitted. You already wanted to kit knowledge before because it makes the songs play faster. And now it's just really good. We get a purple magic staff out of there, and people still do not like magic staffs. It doesn't have particularly good rolls, but I'm taking it anyways because, ooh, a purple. I don't think the higher tier pickaxes actually do anything compared to the lower tier pickaxes. It might be something you want to throw in your pocket slot to sell later, though. I haven't tested that for how much they sell to the store. Might be very worthwhile for a pocket slot, like an oil lantern is. Luckily, kill that axe skeleton in time. And I am getting better at kiting them throughout this video, but the axe ones are definitely the hardest ones. Everything else is pretty easy to kite, but the axe ones can just mess you up, especially when they're with a group. Right here, I get cornered by those spiders, and I didn't want to spawn that skeleton. I kind of just wanted to kill the spiders up there, and I didn't know there was a skeleton spawn. And I get cornered there again and hit. That is not good. And that's how you do it right there. That's how you avoid them. I almost got hit there, though. I was very close to just being dead. Also, this run is a 150 luck run. The last one was a 50 luck roll one on the luck potion, which means I was getting about 2.5 times the purples. This one, I should get about 3.5 times the purples and 4 times the legendaries. And I'm hearing players as I'm sitting down here. And I just skipped ahead there. I've been sitting for about 2 minutes, I think, at this point, if I remember correctly. And I sit for another good minute or so as I hear more people in the champion room. And I know these people cleared off the path to the west that I need to go through the zone for just a moment for that I was hearing to the south before. They came up like right next to me and just didn't see me in this room. And that's how you rat. You just stay very silent. Honestly, I think if you don't have good control of yourself not running away in those scenarios and being stealthy instead of, you know, like scurrying away, literally just hit the rest button and sit in the corner because you can't move then. Also, standing up will get you killed. They can hear that quite easily. Okay, this room here on my right, this has a lion's head chest or a gold chest guaranteed. You gotta kill a couple mummies for it. And it's also a good room to hide in. So I am going to clear that out. I'm making certain that there's no players behind me or anything like that. Wanted to reload my crossbow if I hadn't already. And Shriek of Weakness, these guys, even if they're in the ground, it'll still hit. Thwack, thwack, thwack. And they die pretty quick. I was saying before as well that I don't think BARD is very good DPS. If you play him properly, BARD is incredibly good DPS, incredibly broken. He clears PvE insanely quickly. He gets good loot. He gets to buff himself. He gets to heal up. All sorts of good things. We get a couple memory capacity here, which is great. Additional magic damage boots, also great. More bolts. That was a really good chest. I did not know there was a mummy spawn in here, though. Otherwise, I would have started with Shriek of Weakness. And he cannot leave the room, which is nice, but it also means I can't headshot him. This is going to take a bit. And I open up this gold chest here. Okay, purple morning star. That pendant was almost really good. It's a purple pendant. That's pretty rare to find. And it has plus armor rating on it, which is great. But the rest of the rolls don't really go with it. So it's not that good. Throwing knives you can use on BARD, by the way. And they're very, very good on BARD because you can pull them out incredibly quickly. And they will slow enemies down who are chasing after you. There is a rogue here. He screams at me, "I'm friendly." And I just crouch after that and go my separate way. I don't want to kill him. That's going to kill me. It doesn't even matter if I two-tap him or whatever. If he gets one hit off on me, that's going to completely screw my run. And I don't give a crap about his loot. I am playing BARD. I am getting the best loot in the game. I'm getting purples out of like every chest. I have a greater luck potion on with 150 luck. There's a blue portal there. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I leave with the stuff I've got on. I definitely made money on this run still. Not the best money ever because these items are pretty trash, but it would definitely be a moneymaker run still. And I'm thinking if there's still players, I can go through there. That would be fine. I don't have the Inferno portals memorized very well around here, by the way. I do hear some spawning on the left there. So they've got to be over further to the west. And there's a skeleton up here. And I'm thinking I want to close that door. I kind of don't want to engage with these skeletons. So I'm thinking maybe I want to run through that door. And that rogue is coming around again. Oh, there's Inferno portals down there, I see. In we go. Let's get out of here ASAP. And I have that 25% faster interaction speed. This is why it's useful. You can open doors quick. You can leave quick. And while you're in between lobbies, always drop the stuff that is trash. This will help you out a lot. I dropped some more stuff that was trash, but we're just cutting ahead here. I get the demon bat room again. And once again, the portal is decently far from me, and it's not on the east room. Annoying. And this really isn't a bad spawn, though. This is a very good room to spawn in. It's an easy room. The only annoying part is just where the circle is spawning. And I'm going to do the exact same thing over again. I am just going to Shriek of Weakness, because I think that does make it die faster still, even with magical damage. And I'm just going to Piercing Trillet. I might be wrong on that with Shriek of Weakness. Let me know, guys, if you know if that's actually helpful or not. There's a good moment to practice my Piercing Shrill attack. And I'm missing it sometimes, hitting it sometimes. Thing should be almost dead. This does take a while, and these are fairly easy to kite, by the way. But it's safer to not engage than it is to engage. Okay, that one killed it. We can go ahead and open this and loot it. And because we just had that other run, I pretty much know what I want to do as my tactic this time. I want to run in that room to the south and loot it up. My loot is going to be absolutely insane out of every chest on this run. It should just be practically every chest gives me a purple. Blue clarity pot, those are worth quite a bit, like 30 gold each from what I understand, so that's cool. Gargoyle coming at me again, and I step on the spike trap there, fail. But I do drag it over, and I hit it with a crossbow shot first, which is cool. Rousing Rhythms, because it gives you extra knowledge, should cause you to be able to cast faster, so that's what I'm thinking there. And this is kind of annoying where you can't hear them sometimes, even though they're right above you. But it happens. And I end up spawning the skeleton beneath me, so I need to kill him too. Nightmare skeletons move really fast, and you do not want to fight them without cheesing them, I promise you. Especially not two of them at once. You do not want to take them on in hand-to-hand combat. And the circle is already moving in on me here, but this time the demon bat's going to be dead, and the circle is a little bit closer to me, which is good. And I'm just doing one more just to make certain everything's dead. Seems like it is. And I can just run along the normal route this time. We'll run past that zombie. And Beats of Alacrity is really good. I'd probably run it over the Courage song, actually. The Courage song is really nice for the extra DPS, but extra speed is just... Why would you give up extra speed? Extra speed is so nice. You're like rogue speed after using that one. And we're back in the exact same situation we were before, right? And I actually fat-fingered my spacebar there. I did not mean to do that at all. I literally, was picking my hand up to scratch my nose, and then suddenly I smacked the spacebar while I'm doing that. Fail. Mega fail. I don't think I hit him there with the Shriek of Weakness. He doesn't seem to have the effect on. And I don't notice it at the time, but the dragonfly actually got through the gate. And now I see it. I'm like, wait, what is happening there? I thought he was trying to hit me through the gate. So we kill that, and it hits me once, and there goes a large portion of my health. Higher Will is really nice against those because it will lower the debuff duration time and greatly decrease the poison damage. Short sword, purple. Let's go ahead and take it. Even something like that is worth quite a bit of money. And I definitely want the campfire kit here. That is huge. Let's go ahead and place that guy down. And Tranquility does stack with campfires, by the way. But if you don't have faster interaction speed, then watch out. And there are players on my left. I'm still going to keep placing this because if there are players, I need the extra health all the more. I don't know if they're fighting the boss at this point. If they're just running through because this is an easy room they want to loot. The cleric goes in there. There's a barbarian. This is looking incredibly, incredibly bad for me. I am thinking up my options to escape from these people. And that skeleton aggroes on them and decides to come after me because it can. I am running to the north. I know this is Ghost King. Ghost King is incredibly easy to run through the room on. Lich is also easy to run through the room on. Skeleton Warlord is really the only hard one, and he's not in High Roller yet. This is the room I was talking about that has really good loot. It looks like there's even more lion head chests in here than I remembered. The, big flat chests apparently can be lion's head chests. This room is insanely good loot. I did not get a chance to loot it today, though, so that's sad. And we are going to get within the circle here. I can sit behind these torches without the boss spawned, but I'm thinking, okay, let me just run across ASAP and get through to this area on the south that is safer, and I might be able to get the first portal spawn and avoid. Invispod is easier than playing the song. The song takes a bit longer, and that would slow my movement speed down. That's why I did that. If you have really high knowledge, though, you can play it in about the time it takes for an Invispot to pop, so go for it then, I guess. High knowledge Bard is kind of busted. And I missed twice on this guy here. Really frustrating when I gotta worry about this stuff. And these guys are coming for me. The door, I'm not seeing it here. I'm trying to close it. I'm trying to close the door there, and there's not coming an interaction box. I think it's on the other side. And this barbarian is chasing me. Lucky for me, they have not kitted agility. And I slapped them with a throwing knife. They don't want to push me too hard. I run into the zone here. I know this other room that I could run into over there is cleared. Or I'm thinking, actually, what I would do here if they push me is I'm going to run off into those demon dogs and suicide and mess them up, too. They will not survive that. They absolutely will die. It ain't happening. And they do not like that the Ghost King is on them. So I am running back. I'm thinking, okay, they've probably cleared this room out a little bit, and this room is much safer. And there's a portal for me here, and I'm out. I escaped a barbarian. This guy's trying to kill me right here. Oh my gosh. That scared the crap out of me at the time when I was playing. And let's look at these guys' gear. All weapon damage. These guys are kitted correctly. If this guy hit me in the head with a crossbow shot, he would have instantly killed me. That is a legendary lantern on that man there. How about this guy? More of just kitting correctly. It ain't the best kit ever, but it's a pretty good kit. And this guy. Okay, this guy. All attributes. Unique Northern Full Tunic. Okay, these guys would have beat me up. Those guys were full meta chasers. I would have had a very bad time, and that's really what slowed me down on making the gold on that run. Was those guys just slowed me down. It happens. Okay, we sell the staff here for 100 gold. We sell the quarterstaff for 100 gold as well. So, you know, we're making some gold here. We sell the short sword for 200, actually. It had some good rolls on it, some like plus weapon damage rolls. And these things wouldn't sell, so I sell them to the store. And that's it. If you guys liked this video, subscribe for more. See you guys!